Hey everybody, how's it going? I hope you're doing well. So I felt like I should make a video on this idea that some people have about um, creating your own reality. It's also called the law of attraction. And I'm really making this video out of love for my friends and colleagues that I don't want those people who believe in this kind of thing to blame themselves when something happens to them that is completely out of their control. So um, that's what this ideology can do in some cases, is that it can cause people to blame themselves for things that they really don't have power over. So it can be hurtful in some cases. So where did it even come from? It started in the early 1900s. So here's one of the authors right here, William Walker Atkinson. Um, but what is it really about? Well, you can tell right here in his book, Practical Mind Reading by William Walker Atkinson, a course of lessons on thought transference, telepathy, mental currents, mental rapport, etc. So this was copyrighted in 1907, and here are some of the things in the table of contents. Lesson 1, the nature of mind reading. A plain, practical, scientific explanation of this vast, mysterious subject, explaining the action of mind upon mind and the mental wireless telegraphy according to the latest and best authorities. Lesson 2, the proofs of mind reading, the result of the latest scientific experiments and investigations regarding this subject, practical proof and indisputable facts. Lesson 3, contact mind reading, full instruction regarding the nerve currents passing from the human transmitter to the human receiver, etc., etc., development exercises. I guess you can read this whole book for free if you want to on openlibrary.org. But my point here is just to show you that this is the person, this is one of the authors that founded the idea of the law of attraction right here. This idea that humans create their own reality. So it appears that this person was really conducting mind reading experiments. That's what it appears to be. So if you go look at some of these websites that are giving you the steps to using the law of attraction, getting what you want out of life, you can see that, they want you to repeat these thoughts in your mind over and over and over again. They want you to visualize what this thing is that you want, write it down. In some cases, they want you to post it on create like a story, a storyboard or something like that, hang it on your wall and put pictures up there of things that you want, and then think about it over and over and over again and visualize it. And this is telling us right here, it's all a mind reading experiment. So I mean, we know that scientists think that they've mapped the brain. Michio Kaku has come out and said that. Other scientists have come out and said, okay, yeah, we've mapped the brain, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, we are headed into the kind of society depicted in Minority Report. So I just don't want you to be fooled into this. I mean, probably most of you guys that are watching this, you already know this. But for those people out there that are kind of on the fence wondering about it, I just, from my personal experience, and I think for most people that have really been through hardship that was completely out of their control, they're not going to fall for this deception because they're automatically going to know, oh no, I know that's not true, But for those people out there that still aren't sure whether it's true or not, I just wanted you to know where it's coming from. It's a deception, you guys. But that's not to say that that your thoughts don't have some form of influence over your life. And that's not to say that you don't have a certain level of control over your life. But the measure of control that you have over your life may not be the same as the measure of control someone else has over their life. So again, I mean, don't assume that just because you've been able to make things happen for yourself, that means everyone else should. That's just not true either. So, for example, there are people that are being released from prison right now because they're able to prove with modern technology that they did not commit the crime that they were convicted for 20 or 30 years ago. That's a fact. There are people that have gone to prison for things that they did not commit, for crimes they had nothing to do with. So think about that. Think about how that person may have lived 20 or 30 years in a prison environment for absolutely nothing that they did. So did they think themselves into being convicted? I mean, it's it seems ridiculous when you think about there are actually people out there saying that we're creating the universe and all of this. Um, and that's a really can be a very encouraging thought. It's very encouraging to think that okay, maybe you can change things that are going on in the world through your thoughts. But it's a lot more complex than just thinking. If we really want to change the world, then we need to not only start thinking positive thoughts, but we need to start acting, and we need to start um, behaving in a different way. I mean, that's really what changes the world. In the human environment, what really changes the world is the way that we behave. So we're still in the human environment right now. We are still in a place where the negative is dominating the positive. So I'm not on here saying don't think positive thoughts. Just be aware that there are a lot of sinister things going on, and that is a fact. They are conducting mind reading experiments, um, and some of the experimentees that are that are participating in this are just helping them in their mind mapping experiments. Because how do you think they're able to map the brain? Scientists are saying they can map the brain. How do you think they're able to do that? Through experiments, of course. And we know throughout history that they don't go get consent from people to do these experiments. We know that they don't bother to do that in a lot of cases. We've already had, the government came out in, I think it was in the 90s, apologizing for the MK Ultra experiments. Do you think they stopped? Of course not. So they think they've mapped the brain now at this point, which basically means they can read the electrical currents in the brain. They can talk to you about something, and then they can see which part of your brain lights up when you're thinking about that subject. Then later on, when they see your brain light up in that area, they think they know what you're thinking about. But I can tell you, their quote unquote thought reading technology is not accurate. And so we're going into a really, really dangerous phase right now in history where the scientists, and who knows who else, there are these organizations out there that think that they're able to read people's minds when in reality they're getting a lot of faulty data, and in some cases they're punishing people for what they think those people are thinking about. So I just want you guys, I'm just out here trying to get to the truth. That's all. So I'm not trying to bring you down or anything. I just want you to be aware of where this stuff came from, what it was founded on. And this is what it was founded on right here, mind reading. So I hope you guys are doing well, and I'll talk to you later. Okay, bye.